Oh,
Hello.
okay.
Yeah, here we go again. He says, "Are you
Back.
ready?" I am ready. Are you ready?
I'm so ready. And
I've
better
been
still,
ready.
Dead and Company are ready.
Yeah, hit the ground running, I would say. Why don't you run down the set list?
I shall. They opened up with a nice, easy, gently swinging Let the Good Times Roll, the Sam Cooke classic, and then into playing in the band. And the moment the ship left the dock of chord changes and out into the open sea of improvisation, I said, oh, yeah, we're in good hands. The band was swinging. I was especially so happy to see Billy looking good and healthy and happy,
Yeah,
smiling a lot
yeah,
and just playing as only he can. And the conversation just developed quite quickly. That great language they speak together. And then into Feel Like a Stranger, which vindicates the beauty of the slow groove as far as I'm concerned. Uh, just
I'm
some
sure you caught
wonderfully,
that little quote of my favorite things in the middle of that.
indeed I did. Indeed I
I
did.
thought you
Not a
would.
song you would expect it in, but that's just the way we
There
like
you
it.
go. Yeah.
And then an absolutely stunning China Doll, beautifully sung by O'Teal, and John just taking a heartbreakingly beautiful solo on that. Followed by Brown Eyed Women, Jack Straw, and then closing out the set with Casey Jones. So we are off to a running start, and here we are on Dead Air, which we did all last year and had such a blast doing it. Are so happy to be
We
back. And
did.
we are here of course, for the purpose of entertaining you in a way that we hope a slide that says please stand by does not. Provide some more interesting content, some interesting chatter during the halftime. And we also are serving a purpose on behalf of nugs.net, aren't we, David?
We are. They would like us to tell you that you can subscribe to the streaming service, which is the only streaming service that is devoted to live music. And that's one of the reasons we're all here together, because Brad Serling, who founded this place, is a live music freak. And this all came out of his vision for how best to share music. And here we are years later and happy to be part of it. But the streaming service that you can subscribe to now includes the entire Dead and Company archive going back to 2016. And I believe there are different subscriptions you can have that include the video archive as well. And there's dozens of complete Dead and Company concerts. And there's lots of other stuff too, lots of other bands, right? Rick, Gary?
Yes, so many great bands, so many of my favorite bands, and they have a very deep audio archive, thousands and thousands and thousands of pieces of music from all eras of these bands' careers. People like Wilco and Bruce Springsteen and the Grateful Dead, and Fish has been streaming with Nugs for a long time, and just so much wonderful stuff. And you can subscribe to it and have access to it all the time. Just access any of the music in this library all the time. And then, of course, you can also subscribe to these individual live streams of shows. And some of you who are watching this right now may not be subscribed yet. You may not have even purchased this individual show because we are showing it as part of the free preview of the second set. So that's a way of getting you to check things out, you know, and they give you a little teaser. They give you us, and then they give you the first song of the second set. And you say, hey, this sounds like a hot one. You can purchase it after the fact, an individual show, and then watch it
Mm,
anytime you want to, and then for 48 hours thereafter, after you first
right.
click play. So if a show is really a knockout, you can watch it over and over again for that period. And you can subscribe to the whole tour either in real time or retroactively. So the options are just absolutely stunning.
That's right. So, what Gary and I are doing here on nugs.net is providing this information for you. That's the sort of business end of this thing. And now we get to sort of go to the fun and creative end of it. We are going to be, as we did last year, we're going to be interviewing different people using this fabulously simple remote access software and using the brilliant talents of Jacob Lima, who makes this all possible from behind the
Thank you, Jacob.
screen. And tonight, though, we're not going to have a live guest because we landed a big one. We're going to have Bob Weir as our guest, and because we couldn't expect him to jump in here with us between sets, we pre-recorded a thing with him yesterday.
Right. And all of the interviews we did last year were live. But this opens up some new possibilities because we are, seeking out people who have very busy lives and touring regimens and all that. So maybe not everyone can be with us live, but so recording an interview is the next best thing. And so we may do a few more of these this year, but that's good news for you because if we do, it may very well involve a band member so
We
they don't
hope
feel
so.
rushed going into a little room and talking to us. We can talk in a more relaxed way. And Bobby was in really fine spirits. He had just wrapped up the last rehearsal for the tour, as you're about to see. So I think we should probably go to that right now. So please welcome to halftime from yesterday, Bob Weir. At this time, it's our great pleasure to welcome to Dead Air a young man who's making quite a name for himself in the music business. Will you please welcome Mr. Robert Weir?
Hi,
Hi,
Bob.
hiya, hiya.
Great to have you on, well, opening night of the tour. I should explain to our viewers that we are talking to you when the band has just finished up rehearsals for the tour, but they will be
Yeah.
seeing this right at the end of the first set on opening night. So having said that, Bobby, judging from the rehearsals, how do you think the first set went?
A lot of fumbling around. You guys playing the same tune I am?
No, Bobby, I'm sorry. The right answer is just exactly perfect.
Just exactly perfect. Inshallah, it is God's will.
Well, how the rehearsals go, man? We're so excited that you're back on the road. We had a great time doing this last year, and because I was working the tour, I got to see every show on the tour, and I was really enjoyed the whole thing. So happy
I'm
that you're doing it again.
I'm looking forward to this in the biggest way. I mean, it's fun playing with these guys. They're blistering musicians. And
Indeed.
and we also have something of a band together. We read each other and all that kind of stuff. And everybody's got a little something to say, and we're figuring out how to, how to focus it all and polish it up and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Well,
Go ahead, David.
hope you don't polish it up too much.
And with this crew, come on.
Bobby, I've observed over many years around this stuff that in the Grateful Dead days, everyone would diverge between tours and do their own projects. And a lot of you guys have been doing that stuff. John did his own tour. Mickey's got Planet Drum reconvened. You've been doing Wolf Bros. And do you find yourself bringing stuff from those experiences into this band and reinvigorating it with that stuff?
I it's a we're just going to see, because it's kind of nice to have the two things happen separately, and one's a vacation from the other and all that kind of stuff. And if we started cross-pollinating it all, then it'd be all the same thing, and then one wouldn't be a vacation from the other. But on the other hand, I play all the songs that we play with Deadco with Wolf Bros, or most all of them, and they're the same arrangements. But we have our little wolf pack, which we could plug into Deadco, but with two guitars and two drummers, it's probably a little too thick to do that. So I think I'm more or less stuck with doing the Wolfpack stuff with the smaller band. But everyday things change. I don't know.
Well, I've certainly been enjoying the Wolf Bros material. The performances have been great. The Wolf Pack is just a tremendous ensemble, and the arrangements that you've come up with for stuff like the Weather Report suite have just been so wonderful
Well, thanks.
to hear.
Yeah, we try to keep it. We try to please ourselves, and so in so doing, hopefully we're pleasing other folks. But we stack it up as high as we can get it.
Yeah, the Wolfpack is is the realization of something that's been in the back of your mind for a long time, because I first talked to you for publication in 1973, and you had just done Wake of the Flood, and you had done that extended ensemble arrangement on the Weather Report suite, and sort of calling out parts of the musicians. So this is something you've had in mind to do for a long time, like taking the music that you were playing with the Grateful Dead and bringing new voices into it. So it must be really satisfying, a mere 49 years after the fact, to be doing that.
And this is just one step, the last step toward the ultimate goal that we're doing in October, where we do it with a full symphony orchestra, 4 nights, all different.
Right. And with the National Symphony Orchestra at the Kennedy Center, which was supposed to happen earlier, and
we got COVIDed, but I think that actually came out in our favor. The guy I'm working with on the arrangements and stuff like that wanted to do it desperately right then and have it done, but wasn't in the cards. And I really think that the more chance I get to woodshed the arrangements, the better they'll be.
How does this relate to the first fusion thing that you did with the Marin Symphony some years ago?
Well, it's just an extension of that, but we had one night's worth of material, and now we have about 4. And the way we've written it and stuff and things like that is, if we go into a given town and play our song list, we can plug them in, and we can plug all the songs in different places. It's like Grateful Dead. The show will never be the same. And we're also the other thing that we're doing with the orchestral ensemble is there are long stretches of the material where it's highly improvisational, and we repeat a given section, and we have the section leaders have a choice of and these are the guys from the Wolfpack, basically, most of them, and some that we pulled out of the orchestra who have a lot of experience with improvisation. And so each of those guys, they'll learn to work with each other and call out, so that we can get whole sections improvising of one voice. Like the violas will be doing the same line together, and it'll be different every night, but they'll be doing the same line or the same lines, and they'll, if we get it so that this works smoothly, they can do it with Beethoven, they can do it with Mahler, they can do it with anybody. You just take a section that is ripe for repetition and repeat it, and the sections will learn to play off of each other. And I think it'll be pretty cool. You'll have to have a section leader in each section to call the shots. It's complicated, but I think it's going to work, and I think it's going to breathe some new life into classical music.
Very interesting. It's been fun to watch you doing that. I mean, the balance between composed and improvised stuff in the Wolf Rose has just been really, really fun to watch, and seeing it evolving and see those musicians become freer in that context.
Yeah, it's a fun outfit.
And even in the composed sections, I've gotten to see, not in person yet, but I think I've seen every live streamed events that Wolf Rose and the Wolfpack have done. I noticed even the arranged sections were evolving, like new variations were being tossed into the arranged sections, and those guys can sort of make up little mini parts on the fly, as well as blow free or play totally composed stuff.
They're getting the knack to work together in various ways. Practice makes perfect, basically.
Indeed. So let's talk about getting back together with these guys. You've had a little bit of time to rehearse the past week or so, is that right?
Yeah.
And how was dipping a toe back in that?
Well, rust never sleeps. And first day or two were pretty rusty, and then I was working on some new equipment that I've got. The good folks at Universal audio gave me some new devices to play with, and it took me a while to round up a sound out of that, but now I'm real pleased with what I'm getting. We're just going to see. It's not real different from any tour that we've ever done. We have no idea what we're stepping into, because, but I can guarantee you this, that we'll go places every night that we've never been before. And hopefully that'll all be great.
That's what we've seen from you in the past. It's
Oh,
been
yeah.
great. I really feel like you've got, you know, an amazing collection of musicians there. Jeff Chimenti just continues to blow minds with his range and his power and his soulfulness.
Yeah, you know, you may be hearing more of Jeff than you're used to too. On the night you get. I'll say no more on that, but we've been working on some fun stuff with him.
Good, no spoilers.
You know, Jeff fulfills, you know, I mean, the Grateful Dead had this progression of keyboard players, and each brought different idiosyncrasies to the party and distinctive styles and all that. Jeff seems to fulfill almost every aspect of that, and then bring some other stuff to the party as well, because he's so versatile. You know, it's like having McCoy Tyner in the band one minute and Floyd Kramer the next, you know?
Yeah, the only problem with the only real fly in that ointment is his singing range. He doesn't get very high. He can't go up where he can't hit the bird calls like Brent used to do. But we got our best guys on that. We'll teach him to sing in falsetto.
Yeah. Well, Mayer busts a nice falsetto every now and then.
Yeah, he can do that.
Yeah. So let's talk about the fact, you know, I understand Mickey is going to be bringing some of his Planet Drum stuff to bear in the shows. I think it was just mentioned on his social media that he's you know, he just put out this new Planet Drum material, and you know, last year he did a Voices of the Rainforest thing in the Drums in Space segment, where he actually had some stems of recordings that he worked into his loops. And I think there's going to be some actual Planet Drum grooves. So Zakir may be visiting from thousands of miles away, or Giovanni, or any of those people. That's an interesting technological capability.
Yeah, that'd be great. I think Mickey's going to have to play along with it. The technology is what we've got so far. I've been rehearsing with Wolf Bros. When it was a trio, I was rehearsing with them online, and we were playing together with the what is it, that Stanford system? I can't remember the name of it, but and that worked. But you have to be within about a 400-mile radius of each other, and then you can play live together. More than 400 miles, there's too much latency.
Yeah, I didn't mean to say that they're going to be having Zakir dial in. I think what I meant was they have stems from the recordings he made with Planet.
Oh, right. Okay, great.
And they're going to incorporate it into the loops during the Drums in Space segments. So that should be a really nice new texture to.
That'd be great. And also, really, what they could do is just set Zakir up wherever he is, literally in India or wherever, and have them pipe his stuff in and make it play along.
Yeah.
Wow. That would be fun.
Yeah.
And we have that capability. I'll have to talk to him about that. He'd be doing it. It'd be 9 in the morning or 10 in the morning, because it's about 24 hours different there. It'd be around 10 in the morning when we'd be popping him in, so he'd be bright and cheery.
Oh.
I'm sorry, my cat is here destroying my live situation. He just knocked over a glass of water, but that's okay. he tried to unplug the whole camera too, but I didn't let him do that.
Attacking the paparazzi. So Bobby, after this tour, you go on to the event in Washington, and then is there more Wolf Bros and Wolfpack already locked in on the horizon, or is it?
That's the plan,
yeah.
We'll go on tour after that.
Excellent.
Yeah, it really is one of my favorite things you've ever done in your extracurricular activities.
The Wolf Bros thing, I think we've got to flex it a bit. We've got to strip down to me solo, then trio stuff. That kind of shorts the guys who were. I got to figure this out because I don't want to short the guys who came to play, but at the same time, right now I'm kind of lonesome for the trio. At the same time, everybody, it's fun to play with all those guys too. So I got to sort that out. I'll figure it out.
Yeah, I think the more recent shows that I've seen, you were starting to get at that. Like you would do a solo song from Blue Mountain or something, and then the next one might be with just Jay and Don, and then Jeff would come in. So it has there's almost a nice narrative flow to it. Here we strip it down. Now the story gets a little more elaborate. The plot thickens, as it were.
Right. We construct the sets so that there's sort of an overarching theme to it, or a few overarching themes to them.
Great. I look forward to that.
Very much looking forward to all of that. It seems like you are in no danger of slowing down anytime soon, sir.
That's not what I'm here for.
I know you always tell the story of Count Basie having been an exemplary figure. You saw like one of his very last shows, and he just checked out. He checked out a few days later, but he was
a few days later, put his feet up, and out of here he went.
Yeah. So that seems to be your long range plan, huh?
I've got nothing better to do. What do I need to work on my golf game?
That's Cometi's job. Another thing about touring under these remarkable circumstances is your health regimen has become somewhat famous. You were keeping yourself healthy on the road in a way that is not generally associated with rock and rollers. So are you keeping that up on this upcoming tour?
Yeah, we got our best guys on it. I mean, the fact is, I got to be able to deliver the mail at the end of the show. And we've been playing for 3 hours, and we're 3 hours plus, and I've got to be fit. And there's no other way. You have to you have to hit the gym, do yoga, all that kind of stuff. At my age, there's no other way to turn that lock.
Seems to be working for you.
Right. Well, thanks.
All right. Well, anything else on your mind? Any interesting causes you've been espousing, or things you'd like to bring to the attention of our viewers?
Well, right now we're watching, and by the time people see this, there will already be a new installment of the January 6th hearings.
Uh-huh.
And it's really autocracy versus democracy. And there has always been in this country, ever since the Revolutionary War and before it, there has always been a contingent of folks who prefer autocracy to democracy. And it's never gone away. There during the 30s, for instance, we had that guy Lindbergh who flew across the Atlantic. He was big into autocracy. There have always been guys who were really, they thought that autocracy could be built off of meritocracy, or built through meritocracy, but that's not how it ever turns out. It always turns out cronyism, but they don't see that. And it's going to be interesting to see who goes for what in this country. But I think a lot of people's eyes are going to be opened by what they see on what the January 6th Commission is bringing out. It's and I'm putting myself I'm putting a target on my back by even saying this, but because those guys, they think fair is whatever they say. They don't, they don't pull their punches. And you know, it's just going to be real interesting.
Yeah. Well, we this is as good a time as any to say that we have all, from the very beginning, supported Headcount, an organization that is all about democracy and all about encouraging participation in democracy.
Right.
So I know you were a founding member
Yes.
of their board and are still very involved. So we should tell everyone who's coming to the shows to go visit Participation Row,
Yeah.
where they are auctioning off some beautiful guitars
Right.
that the band has autographed with incredible artwork on it. And that helps support the cause of encouraging democracy, defending democracy, and all
Right.
that.
And if you're watching this at home, you can visit headcount.org anytime. You can sign up to volunteer at shows. Headcount has registered more than 1 million voters in its 20-year history, and that's a very, very important activity that we all support.
Most of those guys are still around, most of those registered voters. And really don't, my message would be, don't take democracy for granted, because it is, like they say, it is fragile and it can be destroyed. And there are folks who are working working full time to try to do that. They want to replace democracy with autocracy.
Indeed. Well, Bobby, as I said, our viewers will watch you taking the stage for the second set, whereas you won't be taking the stage for the first set until sometime tomorrow. So if that doesn't confuse you enough.
That's kind of where I live.
Right. Unstuck in time. Well, it's been great having you join us. And,
Pleasure.
We're looking forward to the tour, and I can't wait to hear what you guys are going to be playing this time around.
Me too.
We'll be watching every night from the comfort of our homes.
Well, I can't wait either. I'm going home.
Yes. What fun.
A gung-ho Bob Weir is always a good thing.
Yeah, well, they were definitely, as you said earlier, they definitely hit the ground running and definitely feel like they're in the groove already. I sort of thought it was nice they kind of cleared their throat with Good Times at the beginning. Everybody got to sing a line and the things got kind of dialed in by the end of the song. And then they could get down to business and start jamming. That's my kind of show right there.
Indeed it is. And they're going to hit the stage not too long from now. We're going to take our leave of you in a few minutes. We want to remind you once again that we are here to let you know about all the stuff that Nugs.net offers in terms of audio streaming, in terms of archival video, in terms of all sorts of treasures, thousands and thousands and thousands of pieces of music that you can avail yourself of by subscribing to Nugs on various levels, by purchasing these live streams, the entire tour or one show at a time. You can sort of go a la carte if you want. As the tour goes on, someone may say, "Did you see that show?" "No, I missed that show." And then you can go back and watch a show that you missed. Speaking
That's
of
true.
getting
And you can
unstuck in
also
time.
get audio downloads of all of these shows, which really helps me since I'm in the radio business. I like to have the audio downloads for of this stuff, and also listening in the car and things like that. So Nugs.net, which is the reason we're here, has many, many options for you to hear Dead and Company and lots of related music. There's just thousands and thousands of live concerts in there from Bruce Springsteen on down to little old me in their library. And I'm proud to be part of it and really happy to be doing this again with you guys on this tour.
Happy to be doing it with you, my friend. Thanks again to Jacob Lima and to Brad Serling, the founder of Nugs.net. And we would be remiss if we didn't give great thanks to our good friend and Bob Weir's longtime manager, Matt Bush, because he was instrumental in getting Bobby to sit for us. If we can get any other band members on the tour, whether in person in the moment or via recording, we're going to strive to do that. But I guess right now we're going to throw it back to the stage. It'll be a few minutes before the band goes on. So you will see that ever welcome slide that says, "Please stay tuned." But we will be back on Monday from Shoreline Amphitheater. We've got another wonderful guest lined up for you. And more guests. We've been booking away. We're filling in those spots as we go. That's an act of improvisation in itself, and
It's
we love
true.
doing it. So, David, have a great remainder of your weekend.
I am looking forward to seeing the rest of this show here, right here in my living room. I meant to tell you that we got a bigger TV in the interim, so I'm able to enjoy the music and the visuals. The 4K video is particularly good to be able to watch with my new screen. So I recommend that if you're into high quality video. And that's about
And,
it from me.
yeah, and one last self-serving moment. We also get to talk about this tomorrow on Tales from the Golden Road on Sirius XM Radio. So we'll be quite enthusiastic on the air tomorrow. If you happen to subscribe to Sirius, check us out. We're going to have a lot of fun reliving this show. So I guess that's it. We're going to go back to the stage. The band will take the stage, we hope, presently, and we'll talk to you all again on Monday. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
Told Althea I was feeling lost, lacking in some direction. Althea told me upon scrutiny, there my back might need protection. I told Althea the treachery tearing me down from there. I think it told me to cool down, boy. Settle back, easy, kid. Maybe Saturday's child all grown, moving with an ancient grace. You may be a clown in the burying ground, but just another pretty face. You may be the face of Althea, sleeping out the chance to dream, honest to the point of recklessness, self-centered to the extreme. Ain't nobody messing with you but you. Your friends are getting most concerned. Close to the truth, baby, it's your fight. But baby, don't get burned. And when the smoke is cleared, she said, that's what she said to me. You're gonna wanna get to lay your head in a little sympathy. Althea, I'm a rolling sign that I was born to be a bachelor. Althea told me, well, okay, that's fine. So now I'm trying to catch you. Can't talk to me without talking to